Hello and welcome to the Crystal Vision podcast, where we dive deep into the strategies and energetics of business, money, and mindset mastery so as to create the next generation of wildly wealthy women. My name is Olivia, Clare, and I'm a serial entrepreneur who is obsessed with giving you all of the tools that you need to create your crystal clear vision of success. Each week, you will hone in on your unique zone of genius and embody the highest version of yourself to reverse engineer your way to your dream life. If you're ready to let go of the hustle and effortlessly call in more money, more growth, and more fulfillment, stay tuned. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the Crystal Vision podcast. I hope you are all having an amazing day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to a solo episode. So we're going to be diving in, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about flow and what flow looks like in your business and how incorporating more flow into your business will reap major financial rewards. Okay, so let's jump right in. This podcast episode was really inspired because I've been trying to incorporate more flow into my life, into my business. And when I work with clients one-on-one, so often I see them getting very caught up in needing that structure, in needing that rigidity, in the masculine sort of action, like it has to look a certain way. And in my brain, I can tend to do that all the time. So the more that I can step away from that and the more that I can invite my clients to step away from that and into feminine flow, the more that I see them actually make that progress, right? Which we think it comes from masculine action, and 100% we need action in order to make progress in our business, but not if we're getting caught up in things needing to look a certain way. So flow is so important. Bit more of a woo-woo podcast episode, if you will, but I don't know if I have many people who listen to this and who are not into the spiritual side of things as well. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump right in. How have I created flow in my business? So me personally, I work when it feels good, okay? And I'm not talking about like there's a difference between being completely in flow and being out of integrity. So if I have a list of things for myself that I need to do tomorrow, for example, I am going to be in integrity and do as much as possible. But if I wake up and I am just feeling super down or super uninspired, I will cancel things, I will rearrange things, because for me to be in integrity is also for my energy to be in integrity. So if I'm just going to show up for a podcast episode like today and my energy isn't in the right place, or I'm not really interested and I'm kind of just rambling on for no reason, then I'm not being in integrity. My energy is not in integrity. So when I look at integrity, when I look at doing things that I say that I'm going to do, I also analyze it from an energetic perspective as well. And I create space in my life to do a different type of work if it feels good. So say, for example, today I have on my list of things to do some Instagram work. So for me, I could show up and do a full hour live. Do I feel like that today? No, I feel really called today to create a reel. So I'm going to follow that energetic nudge. I'm going to follow that nudge from the universe and flow with that and create a reel and see what happens. I'm not going to force myself to create a post or to create a bunch of stories if I really feel like doing a reel. And I know these things sound super obvious, right? It's like, oh, well, don't do this if you don't want to. But sometimes we can get so caught up in with, oh my God, I need to do a live because otherwise my audience are going to forget about me. Or I need to post a story because I need to be authentic. Or I haven't done a live in this amount of time, so I should probably do it today. It's like, no, if you feel like creating a reel, then create a reel. Or if you feel like just doing a post or a simple Instagram story, then do that instead. And so often in work, if we work as an employee, we get conditioned every single day to do things that we don't want to do, right? That are not flowy. We might have a really big presentation coming up and we're all like, oh my goodness, I have to get all these things sorted for it. And I don't really even feel like doing it, but I have to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to get fired. So a lot of the times in our business, we need to unlearn that toxic masculine action and step a little bit more into flow. And like I said, it's just about looking at it a little bit differently. So not saying, oh, I am tired, I just want to sit in bed all day and watch TV. It's like, no, if you've said that you are going to do some work on Instagram, do some work on Instagram. That work doesn't have to look a certain way. It could be just showing up and messaging people and connecting with people in the space that's similar to yours or to your followers and connecting with them that way. So I want you guys to start to rethink how you're approaching your business and your to-do list or your to manifest list and creating some space on that list for flow to come in, for divine timing, right? You're not going to be able to have any creative thoughts or any creative downloads if you've got back-to-back appointments all day long. You're not going to have any time to think. So this is the other part of working when it feels good. You need to build a level of self-trust to get to this point. So if you are someone who has been working as an employee for quite some time and you want to make progress in your business, you might find it really hard at first to even motivate yourself because you're so used to being motivated by a deadline or by a demeaning boss or by, worries about being fired, right? So being able to create trust in yourself, okay, just because I don't want to do this today doesn't mean that it won't get done. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at a better time. I'm just choosing to move this to a different day, a different time that feels better for me energetically, right? So it's not running away. It's not letting our egos come in and dismantle our sense of things we have to do. It's not halting our progress. It's simply having more flow with how this content or how these ideas or how this progress is coming through. So it's being a bit more flexible with the how. And so for me, sometimes that looks like I will work 12 hours one day. I will be so obsessed. I'll be really deep. And then the next day or the next couple days, I'm take a full break. Not that I don't want to look at my business, but I'm yep, I've done that now and I'm moving on to something else. And that could just be me as a manifesting generator as well. I tend to be a little bit all over the place and it feels really good for me to be working on multiple things at once and dipping into them at different times. But what I want to offer for you is that if you haven't had experience in the past working for yourself or creating your own results, I would take some time to build up that self-trust and build up that personal integrity. So before you start going, I'm going to work in flow and I'm just going to do it when it feels good, make a commitment to work on your business for X amount of time per day. And then once you've calibrated to that level, then you can say, oh, I don't really feel like doing it today, or I know today is not the best day for me energetically, so I'm going to work 2 hours tomorrow, or I'm going to get, if you feel more energetically aligned, it might only take you an hour to do the 2 tasks that would usually take you 2 hours. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a process, and incorporating flow into your business is a long-term commitment to the flourishing of your business and to your energy. So we're looking at this long term. We're not going to incorporate flow as easy as that, and tomorrow suddenly I'm flowy and my business is flowy. It doesn't work that way. It is a long-term thing and I'm with you so we can do it together. How else have I allowed flow in my business? Co-creating offers with the universe. So a few weeks ago now, I just had all these downloads come through about all the different things that I'll be offering and the timelines for that. And the universe is telling me which dates are best, which months I'm doing things. So I let that come through. I still find it tricky to not question that. I'm like, universe, you think I'm going to get all of this done by that time? Are you out of your mind? That's something that I'm personally working through, is releasing the how. And so if you have a download and the universe is telling you yes, this is the date that you should launch, you can just hold that. You don't need to figure out the how right away. So F the how for now. That is a line from James Wedmore, one of my mentors. That's something you can do as well. It's just allowing inspiration to come through. And there are different ways that you can do that. Just saying to the universe, hey, I'm open and receptive all day today if there's anything that you want to channel through me. And then pay attention. See what sparks interest in you. See what you're feeling pulled towards. Notice how your body feels around a certain topic. Or the other thing I can suggest as well is if you're really looking for inspiration or wanting to co-create your offers and your programs or your digital products with the universe, set the intention and then go and do something that occupies your mind so your subconscious mind can form an answer. So I find a really, really great ways to do this in the shower, right? You always have your best ideas in the shower because you're doing something and then your mind is allowed to start thinking and start letting things come through. And water is actually a current, so it allows more connection to energy as well and energetic ideas. So I really like water for that. But another thing you can do is doing the dishes or just tidying your house. And if you are doing that and it's just something simple and easy that you're not really concentrating on, then your subconscious mind can start letting things come through. So that is my best tip for co-creating offers with the universe and letting more flow in that way. And another thing you can do, or I give you 100% permission to do, is move a launch. And this is something I just posted about on my Instagram because it just happened to me. I had a launch date set. Initially, I had feelings about it. I was like, I don't know, this feels too soon. Like, I don't feel like I'm ready. And I've done a lot of work around, the whole I'm ready thing. So it definitely had nothing to do with energetics, but more about, then we got to the first week of the launch and some crazy stuff happened in my family. I just got a phone call about another thing that's going on. So my energy's a little bit lower now, but I'm going to try my best to finish this podcast episode for you guys because I feel like it will make a difference. Something really bad happened and I was like, wow, launch is the last thing on my mind. I spoke with my coach and I said to her, I don't think I can even look at this for like another 4 weeks. Like I'm just feeling so not with it. And so we talked through it and we came up with 1st of June as the new launch date for me, which was still a little bit sooner than I was expecting. But 1st of June, it just has this fresh energy about it. And so I moved my fucking launch. I sent a message to the people who had said they were really excited about it. And I said, hey, I'm working with the flow of my business. I'm working with the universe and I'm going to move this launch date and I will send you more details about it when it gets closer. And no one had a problem. No one said, oh my goodness, how dare you move your launch? No one said, that is so bad of you to say you're going to do one thing and then not do it or not go through with it. Everyone was like, cool, see you then. So I just want to give you permission to move things around when you need to and not apologize for it. You are doing what is best for you. You are doing what is best for your business. And if anyone has a problem with it, which really rare, they are not your aligned client. They are not one of your dream soulmate clients. So their opinion doesn't even matter anyway. And in allowing more flow in your business and moving things around when your energy really suits it, that is what your clients want as well. They need you to be that example for them. They need to see that through you so they can start living their life from that place of divine timing as well. Another thing that I do/don't do is I don't force myself to create content for Instagram. So I was talking about this before. Sometimes it feels good for me to say, okay, today, like I definitely want to do something. I'm going to post a reel. That's how I'm feeling today. And I was like, tomorrow I want to do something as well. Might just be a story, might be a post. But I don't do that all the time. I have gone weeks without posting and it feels fine. I used to have a lot of mind drama around it. I used to have thoughts of, oh my goodness, if I don't post, people are going to forget about me. Or if I post too much, people are going to be sick of me, right? So you can't get it right either way. And now I just flow. I don't feel good I don't feel any better about myself if I post 3 times in one day. That is not productive to me. To me, it's equally as productive to not post and to take time away from social media. So I don't force that and I do not apologize anymore when I take a break. So often when we take time off social media, we feel like when we come back, we have to explain ourselves. And this is something I was talking to my 2 beautiful friends, Courtney and Paige gave this advice and I wanted to share it with you guys, that you don't need to explain yourself when you come back from taking a break. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to say, oh, this is what I was going through, or this is where I've been and now I'm back. It's just unnecessary. your Instagram is a continuum of your life. And you don't need to, like, first of all, a lot of people are not even going to realize that you've taken a step back. Like, you are the center of your universe. Obviously, you are not the center of their universe. They're like, oh, I didn't even realize that she wasn't posting, or I didn't even think about that. So it's just unnecessary. And at the end of the day, do what's best for you and don't apologize for it. Don't explain yourself. You're just doing the thing. Okay. So now I want to get into the abundance side of this. Okay. Why does being in flow in our business and in our lives make us more money? First of all, your energy is in tip-top shape. So you do not have that stressed energy of holding on to things so tight, holding on to the rigidity, holding on to the structure, holding on to it needing to look a certain way. You just show up as your best self. So me, for example, if I had kept my launch date and showed up on that day, I would have been stressed out of my mind because I would have had to have gotten so many things done before then. And I wouldn't have been able to begin the healing process and processing what is going on in my personal life at the moment. And that stress can come through. Like, it comes through. People pick up on that energy. And I don't know about you, but if I show up to a masterclass and someone's giving off stressed, rigid, intense energy, I'm not going to want to invest in that because I don't want my life to look like that, right? And obviously everyone goes through things, but when you're in a situation like a launch, it's so important to just feel really good about what you're selling and feel really good about your teaching, and people are going to pick up on that energy from you. So you always want to put your best foot forward that way and not force yourself to do things that are out of alignment, right? Me doing that launch on that date, completely out of alignment for me and for my values and who I am as a person. So if I had done it, I probably would not have made any sales anyway, because people would have been like, oh, why is there this person? She's like got this type of energy about her. Versus when I do my launch, I will come from it from the best place energetically, and people respect the fact that I chose my energy first and I chose myself first. Learn how to do that for themselves too, which will make them want to invest. So that is one aspect of how it will bring you more money. And once you sort of let go, F the how for now, right? If you let go of what you think or where you think the money is going to come from, you allow income to flow in from places that you never would have thought of. Like in the past, you would never have thought, oh my God, like I am going to get money from here. Or you'll have like this really cool new creative idea about this offer or this product that you want to create, that if you had held on so tight to what you thought it needed to look like or what you thought it needed to be, you wouldn't have been able to come up with the idea in the first place. So when you sort of release, when you step into flow, you allow creativity to come through. And the whole thing about creativity is solving problems for people. And that is how you make money in business, when you solve people's problems. The other thing I just want to mention as well is, like I was saying before, when you are flowy and when you choose flow in your business, you're setting that example for other people. So the thought of like, oh my God, she just moved to launch whenever she wants and she's just chill about it and she knows that the money's coming either way and she gets to create a business that works around her life and not the other way around. I want that. Get me into that space with her. Get me into that energetic container with her. I must invest in her now. I have to work with her, right? So people are going to feel that way towards you. If you choose to do what is best for you and for your business and create a life that feels really good for you, they're going to want that too. They're going to want in on it straight away. So it's effortless sales, okay? And the other thing that's just so important about flow and how flow brings you more financial abundance is because when you are a state of divine femininity, you are in the being. That's not the doing. That's not the hustle. That's not the divine masculine action. And all of that is super important. Don't get me wrong. But when you are in the being, you get to receive. It's only when you slow down and you stop doing that you allow things to flow into you, like money to flow to you. So if you create flow in your business, it's a two-way street. You get to let things go. And it's just the way that you can start to finally sit in the receiving. Because we talk about giving all the time. Do we ever talk about how important it is to receive? It is a two-way street. Just as much as you're giving, you should be receiving. So when you're in the feminine, when you're in the flow, you get to just be. You get to just receive. And that is so, so important. So that is the episode for today. How to create more flow in your business so as to reap the financial rewards and like the life rewards. Just being able to live a life that suits you, that feels good for you, and that is not stressful or overbooked or just like feels bad. You just get to like flow with it and just live your best life. That is all I want for you. So if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to share it with friends, family, whoever you think would love it. Also take a screenshot of it and share it to your stories, and I will be in your inbox with a little bit of a surprise. So make sure you do that. And if you have any other questions or any other podcast topics you want me to talk about, just reach out to me on Instagram at thecrystal.vision. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye now.